mama working 3 jobs until I told her to quit. How we rose from the sewer. It's funny, now I'm the shit. This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. This message is sponsored by HowMuchYouBench.net, The Slingshot, and the only strength magazine in the world, thepowermagazine.com. You're going to see footage here today from CSA, Combat Sports Academy in Dublin, California. They have MMA. They got powerlifting, they got CrossFit, they got fat guys, they got hot chicks, they got a bunch of badass dudes. It's a great place to go if you're ever near Dublin, California, Oakland, San Francisco, that whole thing they got going on over that way. If you're ever within an hour of that place, you should drive to it and you should check it out. They got some great coaches too. You got Jesse Burdick teaching powerlifting along with personal training. You got Katie Hogan, who's simply just hot, let's just face it. You got Jessica Gray, who teaches gymnastics. And they just have a great staff there. You got a great group of people. They have some outstanding, really high-level CrossFitters, some high-level fighters, and some good powerlifters as well. So it's definitely a place you want to check out. You're going to see it in this footage coming up. Now, I wanted to tell you, before I start talking some more on the voiceover, I wanted to share with you what we were trying to do for this particular day, because once the video starts rolling, sometimes it's hard to keep up with. And I know it's hard for you guys to keep up with the Power Project, because the Power Project is a giant freight train that just keeps on cruising along. But I wanted to tell you guys about the intent of the day, what the goal was, and what we were trying to accomplish. So specifically, the intent of the day was to get a lot of volume in and just to really smash myself, just to make myself really feel like shit. I really don't like myself a whole lot, so I wanted to destroy myself. And that was accomplished by doing the following. We used Constantine deadlifts, KK deadlifts as I like to call them, adding about 20 pounds per repetition, not per set, per repetition, as you're going to see in the video coming up. What this is doing is a bunch of different things. It's teaching you how to pull, and I can't even explain that. You have to try it for yourself to really understand that. It's teaching you about tightness. It's also going to teach you how to break the floor. Everyone's always talking about, how do I break the floor better? How do I build up speed? How do I build up explosive power off the floor? This will help you tremendously with that, so I definitely recommend that you try to utilize it for that. Another thing that it's going to do is it's going to, the first repetition of a deadlift is always the hardest. Trying to break inertia, trying to break the floor, trying to get some good speed and good power and good leverage off the floor. It's always the first one is always the hardest, but the second and third a lot of times are pretty easy. So this helps to kind of nullify that to some effect, making the second and third rep actually somewhat harder. And as you'll see, as we get to our third rep on these are brutal. And I could definitely say for sure that the third rep was much harder than the first on these particular deadlifts. And as I move forward and use these more often, I might mess around and discover that even pausing at the bottom for a longer period of time to negate that stretch reflex might even be more beneficial. Stay down there for about 3 to 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, go. Stuff like that. Anyway, it's important to switch things up in your training. Try new things. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to know that you don't know it all. And that's exactly why I went to CSA. I went to go see my boy, Jesse Burdick. Why did I go see Jesse Burdick? Because he's my boyfriend? Well, that's part of the reason. But the main reason was because he's a better deadlifter than me. The guy deadlifts 815 pounds, a monster, almost deadlifted 854 pounds. So he's an unbelievable lifter, and I wanted to get help, and so I went to him for help. So don't be afraid to get help. Even a people's coach needs help. We all need help. We all need support, and there's a lot to learn out there. Trust me. I'm learning tons of shit every single day. So the other thing that we were trying to do is we were trying to just get a lot of weight in our hands, so that would explain the bands and chains that we have on there. The bands help to accommodate resistance. Weights are heavier at the top, and they are lighter at the bottom. We also have chains on there as well, and the chains are doing the same thing, heavier at the top, lighter at the bottom. But the chains also have the added benefit of giving you a little bit of a cock shot. How exciting is that, ladies and gentlemen? A little bit of a shot to the nuts. Jesse Burdick and I discovered this, much to our chagrin and happiness, while doing some raw sumo deadlifts. One time we placed the chains in the middle of the barbell and loaded the chains up until we had about 10 chains on there, and just became this giant mound of stuff that just whacked you right in the junk every single time you did a deadlift. Right in the weenus. There we go. I got my weenus quota in, and now we can move on. So trying to dial things in for the March 24th meet at Super Training Gym, tongue twister, at Super Training Gym, Sunday, March 24th, where I will be competing along with Stan Efferding and a bunch of other mutants, Brandon Lilly, Chad Wesley Smith, never trust a guy with 3 names, and Scott Mendelson is going to try to break the all-time bench record, which is held by himself, 715-pound bench. If he does 716 or more, howmuchyoubench.net and Power Magazine are going to give him $5,500 in cash money right there on the spot for his accomplishment. And anyway, enjoy the video. I don't think I got much else to say. Oh, notice the difference between the second rep, or the second to last rep that I do with 585 pounds and the last repetition that I do at 635 pounds. Burdick went over with me on how to get down to the barbell using the straps. He wanted me to push my hips back a little bit further, keep them further away from the barbell on the last rep, and it went much smoother. Sounds a little opposite, sounds a little different than what most people are used to, but keep in mind, a geared lift is not a raw lift. They're quite a bit different. And in this case, you have to try to do funny things to make some room so you can grab onto that barbell. Enjoy the video, and strength is never a weakness, and I'm out. Later. Here you're going to see a good example of the KK pulls, and KK has one hot chick normally dumping some weights on the side of the bar, so we decided to top him here, and we got 2 hot chicks adding some weight to the barbell here. The starting weight was about 500 pounds, maybe 515, I can't quite remember right now, but you're going to end up with an additional 40 pounds. So I think that last weight there, I think it goes 515 and then 535. So yeah, it's like 495 is the starting weight. You can see how tough it is. You can definitely say for sure the third rep is a lot harder than the first. And this is some of the hot chicks they got lifted in there. But make no mistake about it, don't be fooled by these ladies. Don't be fooled by their beauty. These are some strong chicks. This is Jessica Gray, just repping out her body weight like it ain't no thing. Jessica competes in the 97-pound weight class, and I think also whatever the next weight class is up from there. And they're both named Jessica, so you don't have to study their names. You just yell it, and they both turn around at the same time. It's wonderful. But Jessica Fitzgibbons is very strong as well. She's one of the owners of the gym, CSA, out in Dublin, California. And now you can see the roundiness that's starting to happen with these weights. On video, you know, you don't see all the little jacked and tan right up on the board. On the video, you don't always see all the brutalness that's going on. But watch how rounded Jesse gets here. Oh, he's feeling that today for sure. Oh, God. He can't even tie his shoes. He can barely take a dump today, I bet. And here's Jessica Fitzgibbons banging out some reps. She got like 2 plates on there. Very, very strong. Built, in my opinion, to do some really great things in powerlifting. Both girls compete raw. So now here I am getting these straps on super tight. A la Jesse Burdick. He was showing me how to do it, showing me how to get it done. And I was trying to do some of the things he said, but of course I screwed it up. I'm an idiot. What can I say? So here I like to kind of lean away, the opposite hand. Those of you that like to wear powerlifting gear, and those of you who use Velcro straps or like to wear a tight suit, that might be something that would work well for you. If you're wondering why the video looks distorted and weird, it's because it is distorted and weird. It's through like a bottle cap thingy. Anyway, I like to keep my head down, which helps me kind of set up my back. It helps me kind of organize my spine. So Sounds weird, but that's the truth of it. That's why I do it. It helps me try to organize my back and helps me try to organize all my thoughts right before I pull. So I keep that head down. I actually been looking right at the middle of the bar. So where I'm looking is, and now I'm squatting down here. And now I'm going to kick my legs out of the way. So a slightly different technique there. But I'm going to look right at those chains. And as soon as it's time, as soon as it's go time, I'm going to start to throw that head back. Not necessarily chin up, but I'm starting to throw that head back. This is 635 pounds here with about 120 pounds of bands and about 40 pounds of chains.
Now, hips through. Good.
Multiplying my muscle and multiplying my hustle. Jacked and tan, and that is it from supertraining.tv. Aww.